Now, one of the more painful parts of narcissistic abuse is feeling like you've been discarded. You've been playing around with a narcissistic person for the past 5 years. You've broken up 1.5 million times. You've gotten in a whole bunch of fights. But this time, now, it seems like they finally are gone. They've left, they're with somebody else. You haven't had contact for a couple of months. And now you're feeling broken, abandoned, discarded. I want to help you out with something here. Narcissists don't typically discard people, not if they can help it. I mean, the goal of narcissists is to gain supply. If anybody discards anybody in these situations, it's you discarding them. And whether you realize it or not, you have been in the process of discarding the narcissist for the past 4 of the 5 years you've known them. You just don't realize it yet, but I'm going to help you out with this. My name is Kevin, and this is The Royal We. Before I continue, I want to let you know that I'm here for your support. Down in the description box, you'll find access for one-on-one appointments. In addition to that, I do have a brand new life coaching program that includes daily teachings live with me Monday through Friday, deep teachings that you're not going to get here on the YouTubes. In addition to that, there's bugs on my sunglasses. In addition to that, there's guided meditations, and there's even going to be a workout routine because I believe that physical fitness is just as important as your mental and emotional fitness coming out of narcissistic abuse. So if this sounds good to you, head on down to the links below, schedule some time with me, get involved in the new life coaching program. Now we're talking about the discard, one of the more painful experiences coming out of narcissistic abuse. Now, I challenge you to understand that the discard has been coming from you, unconsciously, for quite some time now. Now, I've made the analogy in the past, follow me on this, that narcissists are like door-to-door salespeople when it comes to relationships. And I'll be sure to attach that video that I've made about that at the end of this one, because these videos are going to relate, okay? Narcissists are like door-to-door salespeople. This is what allows them to jump from relationship to relationship. They're only seeking one thing in life: supply. Supply. Which means they go door to door. It's not that you're special. It's not that the next person's special. It's not that anybody's special to the narcissist. They just go door to door knocking, saying, who will buy my stuff so that I can get a paycheck? What's a paycheck to a narcissist? Love, affection, sex, place to stay, whatever. This is what narcissists are looking for. That's their paycheck, and they're willing to do whatever it takes to get into somebody's house so they can receive that. Now, keeping this in mind, let me ask you a question. What would stop a door-to-door salesperson from going to your house? Think about this for a minute. What would stop a door-to-door salesperson from going to your house? How about this? You no longer buy their stuff. You no longer buy their stuff. You see, for a period of time, well, for a long time, as you've been hanging out with the narcissist, you stopped buying their stuff a long time ago. Yet they're still coming over. They're getting what they can from you. They've been getting what they can from you, but you've been building in resentment. You've been building up and withholding more and more from the narcissist. You've been dropping all kinds of hints that they are mean, rude, cruel. They need to change. They don't know how to change. They're only capable of selling one thing, which is their false self, and you no longer buy it. They know it. I know it. Oftentimes in these relationships, the people who struggle to realize this are you. And I was in that place too. I struggled to realize that a lot of the issues that I felt with narcissists when I felt rejected and abandoned by these people is really because I didn't like being with them. Yet I forced myself, like many of you, we force ourselves to continue on in these relationships. And have you ever stopped to ask yourself why? Why do you continue to pine after these people, to try to associate with these people, knowing that you really don't like them? As a matter of fact, you probably flat out hate them. And I know that's a strong word, but it's true. And I've had to ask myself this. What am I doing? What are you doing? You don't like these people. How do you know you don't like the narcissist? How do you know you stopped liking them? Because you've been trying to get them to change. You've been trying to get them to stop calling you names, stop cussing at you, stop yelling, stop raging. And the problem is that's who these people are. They've been letting you know that for a long time. This is who I am. I yell, I scream, I cuss, I'm a badass, this is me. And you could be saying, well, they weren't that in the beginning. Well, yes, they were. But they were also hiding it and masking it with other things that you thought were exciting. They sold you a package that you realized was baloney. And so you stopped buying it. You stopped liking them. And it was just a matter of time. In a way, you forced them out to find new supply, to find people who aren't going to question them, who aren't going to question the product they're selling. You forced them out to find new supply because you don't like them. Now, a lot of you will probably say, then Kevin, why do they make it seem like you're such a bad person? Why do they yell and rail against you? Why do they make you feel horrible during the discard phase, right? Well, I want you to look at it this way. I have another analogy for you. Imagine you are a baker. You have a baking shop and you bake cookies and you bake cupcakes and all these fancy little treats. And you decided at one point you're going to start to feed the bums, the homeless people in the area. And so you're making fancy cakes and cookies and you're giving them out to this bum and or whatever bums are out there. And suddenly you realize, I can't keep doing this every day. I'm going to go broke, because you will. And so you stop. And suddenly you start telling the bums, look, no more free cookies, no more free cakes, no more free goodies. I have to sustain my life and my business, and I can't afford to keep giving this out, especially when you're not giving me anything in return. Well, watch what's going to happen. A lot of times bums and some of the homeless people, they'll go mad. They'll go crazy. How dare you? You gave some yesterday, you gave some last week, and they'll bang on the door. That's not fair. I want my free cakes and free cookies. And they'll make you feel like you're a bad, horrible person. Is it because you are a bad, horrible person? Is the baker a bad, horrible person for saying no after being generous? No. Not at all. This is what narcissists typically do. They rail against you. They're mad because they believe you wronged them, because you no longer give them what they've come to you for. You're no longer just serving them, whether or not they give you anything. And so they're going to flip out and they're going to call you bad names. They're going to say you're a horrible person. They're going to act like you never did anything good for them. That's going to cause you to feel like you're the reason they left. You're not. The reason they left is because you no longer buy their baloney. You no longer put up with their nonsense. And there's nothing wrong with that. And so this is where you have to have that understanding that you have been discarding them for a period of time, not the other way around. If you were to call up these people and start serving them again and doing whatever they want again and giving to them, bending over backwards, they'd show up for that. Absolutely. Why wouldn't they? That's what narcissists live for, supply. But the truth is you don't want to do that anymore. That's why they're gone. So I hope that this video has helped you to understand that, listen, they didn't discard you. You discarded them. Right? Now it's time to heal. So join with me. Allow me to help you heal on this journey as we build a brand new life together. As I said before, I am available for one-on-one appointments down in the description box. You can schedule time with me. In addition to that, there's a new life coaching program that's available for you as well. And I will be back with more videos. But before I go, I want to let you know that this video right here, I encourage you to watch. This is the video I was talking about where I make the analogy that these people are like door-to-door salesmen, right? This is a way to explain why they're able to move from relationship to relationship so quickly. Watch this video. It relates to this one. I'll be back right here on The Royal We.